like, Cairo, you sold me.
Thank you, mate.
Well, that's fine.
But in saying that, we do have Agent Select ready. So let's have a look at what these teams are looking to prepare. And of course, Vitality, we don't really know what to expect.
Yeah, no banned agents, just in case people are wondering. But already we're seeing the same composition that we have been seeing from TeamLiquid Academy. The double walls has her. So overall, I think, yeah, that this is the challenge that Vitality expected.
A different kind of double walls than what maybe people would have been used to, a la 2023 with the Harbor and Viper. GSR on this stage has looked really good individually. I think I want to just raise on Rextone's behalf here. He has a lot of confidence, but sometimes that's his worst enemy. The amount of times I've seen him peek in front of the setup when the Vice util's been there to fall back on, when there isn't a player to trade, it is somewhat concerning. So Vitality should be looking to try and punish that. Starting to get a couple of locks on their side, though. Yeah,
we are. The Tejo Sova is an interesting pickup. Overall, this composition, not what we would typically expect from what BBL used in the past, right? And I don't think that composition would be too far out of the meta right now. But a Tejo on Peril, I don't know.
I think this Vitality comp, to me at least, just screams pace. They can hit sites really hard if they want to. And then when it gets to post-plant, you've got salvos, you've got the Astropole, you've got shocks, you've got nanos, you've got pretty much everything.
Yeah.
So I think Liquid Academy have to play with an air of caution.
But like the one thing I want to comment, right, is like, how do you go fast into both a Sage and go into a Vice, right? And what does that mid-rounding look for Vitality? That's where I really start to worry.
I think the Kron Killjoy is something that kind of jumped out to me in that Agent Select. When do we ever see that, really? It's not an agent that he's played an awful lot of. I wonder if this is kind of a sneak peek at that kind of identity that Vitality are looking to have going into next year.
Well, I think not only was it a big statement for him to join this Vitality roster in the first place, but to say, yeah, I will be playing Sentinel in this team. When we saw him flexing and showing a broader skill set, sorry, on Fnatic. So yeah, I think the Killjoy is a strange one for him, though, because it was usually the Cypher that we saw from him in the past.
For sure. Well, the stakes have been set. Of course, this is our third place decider match. Can TeamLiquid Academy look to take down another VCT team, or will Vitality answer back after their tragic loss against Eternal Fire the other day? It's up to Summer and Ryan to let us know. Take it away.
Thank you very much. I'm not going to lie, I had everything planned in my head, and then Cairo just came out with the speech of a lifetime, and now I think I'm a big believer in the TeamLiquid Academy stock. Of course, thanks to our wingman on the desk to take through the series and the pre-show. Of course, it's very much the old guard versus the new. It is TeamLiquid Academy versus Vitality in our consolidation final.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this one because the desk touched on it slightly. Vitality haven't actually been affected by the blender process. They've been able to field the full compositions they want. So focusing on towards this one, it's the Astra and the Sova. It makes sense to bring out on towards Pearl. You're looking towards the Astra being that main controller you see in the meta in regards to this map, but that's what they've run actually on towards Corrode. So there's definitely going to be focus on towards this map for Vitality to come out swinging, because again, we're looking at the matches over the last couple of days, and again, it's been extremely slow starts. And with the context that they'd be going in towards Corrode with a flawless win streak, but a different roster, there's a focus heavily on towards Pearl.
Of course, it's Vitality who rebuilt brick by brick in the off-season to come back with a super team into 2026, and it's Liquid that take Mystic under their wing to teach the new guard new tricks. It's TeamLiquid Academy versus Vitality, map 1 of Pearl, and it kicks off quite quickly. Chronicle on the angle, gonna get shut out by Prox. 1-0 hits another, and so the B site left defenseless as TeamLiquid Academy can secure a plant.
Jericho forced in towards that fight, elevated, and Crosshair displaced. And it's an incredibly clean start for TeamLiquid Academy. 1-0 pushing the issue even more, but finally there's an answer back in the form of Profect. But with the numbers so heavily in favor of Liquid Academy, you're looking towards the final two members of Vitality.
Look at GSR tucked behind the wall. We were talking about how good he is on the stage on this map. Not needed just yet, as 1-0 makes it a hat-trick. Rextone trying to get his hands dirty and find Yampy before things get too interesting, and it is indeed GSR to close the show here in the pistol.
Even with numbers,
I don't want to say it. You're looking towards Vitality again. Maybe tier 2 teams are their kryptonite, especially in regards to the pistols. The opening pistols is something that we've been lacking. Again, it's early doors. Still opportunities. For sure.
Most definitely. You know, you can't read into it after one round, but we were talking about Vitality. Slow start. Pistols have been something that's plagued them. Let's see what happens in our second.
I mean, it has to be in the back of your mind, right? Not only just for us watching the game, fans at home, but maybe even some of the players.
Of course, Vitality take to just 5 classics in this round. No investment made. I mean, sometimes you see someone try and pull out a Sheriff or at least an upgraded pistol to try and do some damage, but I think they're focused solely on that third round.
I mean, they have the numbers in the right place. Full stack over towards B. It's the gamble stack. The only issue is it's a similar sort of response from Liquid Academy.
Cleanly taken care of. Well, as clean as it can be. They do lose GSR, but all that matters is that Team Liquid Academy bring this one over the line relatively easily. Nice second round. I think it's important to mention as well, Team Liquid Academy, of course, their pick in this series, Pearl. It's something that they've played in every series in Phase 4, whether that is in the decider, whether they make it there or not. Pearl has been a part of the veto for Team Liquid Academy every step of the way.
Mate, they've played it 9 times in the last couple of months, and most of that, again, with players coming in and out, and they've still managed to maintain, what, an 80, 90% win rate? They've lost it once in towards this whole tournament, coming through in towards this event as well. So definitely a strong match for Team Liquid Academy, and starting it off with a pistol and a conversion. Hoping to make the bonus at least a little bit costly. Already poking and prodding in towards A.
Yeah, Vitality looking to get aggressive here. Triple start on A, wanted to fight for this control that Team Liquid Academy very notorious in doing, sending that Yoru flash round, bouncing it off the wall and trying to get that orb space.
The thing is, they're not quiet about it. So Vitality are away, right? They know that that's the point of contention. You can even see Durka trying to help reinforce this A site, crossing over. Again, noting of some of the positions of Team Liquid Academy. So it's not necessarily question marks everywhere for Vitality, but they haven't been able to gain much space off the back of it.
Durka, good start. Vitality looking to thing those Team Liquid Academy numbers, and it's all in the hands of Durka. He'll find a double.
Here.
And that leaves Team Liquid Academy worse for wear in their bonus. Of course, not out of the fight, and probably looking for damage now more than a round win. Sayonara, another layer on this A defense that takes this even more unexpected for Team Liquid Academy. Vitality thinning the herd as Team Liquid Academy rounded up towards A. Nice shot from Mystic. Manzeru sends the decoy out. A second kill from Mystic. This is getting scary now for Vitality until Prophet brings some normality to this round. 2-1.
Yeah, you started to wonder if that final player towards the side, there was a way for the spike to get in towards the side to get planted. Then you're looking at equal numbers, upgraded weapons. So at least for the side of Team Liquid Academy, keeping it competitive to a certain extent. Obviously, you're looking towards the double entry we see from Durka. Being a little bit of a shutout for the Academy side, wanting to make their way through in towards market. Or instead, eyes on towards the anchor of Prophet. So definitely one to keep an eye on in regards to this defensive side. Going to be tasked with the A site.
Go, go, go.
Now it's the weapons, Liquid Academy.
Taking that there.
A similar slow start in regards to the rounds. It's a mid-centric default.
Durka happy to take a bit of damage in exchange for information. They know that Team Liquid Academy pressing matters towards middle.
I mean, the thing is for Vitality, they can put this heavy focus on towards mid because you have the turret on towards B long. So that's so much information for the side of Vitality that they can put all the numbers here. But the thing is, they're cut off.
Chronicle has to go huge. Nice shot through the wall, apparently, as Durka gets the second. Feel like Chronicle winning the lottery in that engagement. As Liquid Academy's numbers start to dwindle, they have to fight back, and GSR and Wanzeru look to do so. 2 kills in exchange for the early 2, but it's Vitality. They get to deliver some good news, 3-on-2.
The thing is, with the Killjoy on, that's the utility down on towards B, so you're looking at the rotate of Prophet, anchoring towards A, now back in towards support on towards B. 1 player left, Wanzeru in the 1v3. 30 seconds left to work with, but the opportunity to isolate initial 1v1s is going to be slim.
And he knows he's got to go pressing for numbers, pressing for information. 2 bodies round the corner. Will try and escape into safety from heaven, but Sayonara welcomes him to hell. It's 2-2. Vitality quick to equalize after the slow start with the pistol.
And I think that's important for them in the grand scheme of
Of
things.
course. I mean, the Des were talking about it, right? Like, obviously, Eternal Fire, notorious for being very good at pistols, you know, using it to effect in terms of momentum and really gaining an early lead. Instead, they get the same treatment from TeamLiquid Academy, and it's Vitality that are now having to recover and make amends for it.
I mean, it's nice to see the Vitality getting rounds on the board so early. We were looking at 4-0, 5-0, 6-0 starts for the opposition. So at least keeping the initial rounds in towards contest, and especially with Yampi on towards the Outlaw, it's a lower buy for Liquid Academy, but there's an answer back on towards A. That's going to be a weapon picked up, but still out of the realms of possibility, possibly now with Prox falling, and the spike down in complete control of Vitality players.
Rex Toned has slipped the net of this A-site defense. You can see that the spike, yes, well and truly outside B, but Liquid Academy have other plans to try and be a thorn in the side of them in this one.
But so does Durka. Durka's going for an absolute gander in towards mid, pushed up all the way through B. Now you see Chronicle coming up to support as well. So for the side of Vitality, there's not really much gaps.
Engagement matters. Durka takes his third. Yes, it's against the pistols, but it's an impressive result for Vitality as they will not concede much in a round like this, and the utility giving Yampi prime opportunity to put their forward foot in front. Vitality now in front.
And perfect, you lose one player, you can drop the Outlaw, pick up the rifle as well. So coming in towards this round, it's going to be that full rifle, possibly even an operator maybe looking towards Durka. But at the moment, he's been so active that it's not necessarily even something that they've had to rely on in regards to being a heavy opener. Especially with the focus that Vitality are able to put over towards mid or on the ecos, being able to push up towards B long. That's the point that they love. Going in towards where they got the spike, where they were able to do some damage on towards their anti-eco.
There is a technical timeout. I do believe we've had a disconnect, so we'll be waiting a few more seconds before we head into the action. But got to say for TeamLiquid Academy, 3 ultimates online to that of Vitality's 2, quite impactful ones as well. Obviously, GSR, we were talking just a couple of days ago, you know, me and you saying that GSR is one hell of a player, especially on this map of Pearl.
I don't think it's fair to understate at all, but it's similar to what the Death said in regards to looking at the differences between TeamLiquid Academy and Vitality, not just in regards to the name value, but the experience as well. So looking towards TeamLiquid Academy being that proving ground, I think it's fair to say, especially in this tournament so far, being able to take down 3 and a bit T1 teams, right? Obviously pushing GX to...
Pyro's happy that you've mentioned the bit.
Yeah, I mean, he wanted to say 4, but it may be 4 after this series.
It could be.
Even with 3 and being able to have a relatively competitive series yesterday against Giant X, you're looking towards that 2026 season. You're looking towards some of the T1 teams looking at the players in regards to what can they sort of make us that sort of transition into towards T1. We saw Sayonara being signed to Vitality for a while before he's even able to play. He's still not able to technically play in towards T1 until we get in towards that second event of the year. So again, it's looking towards the future for some of the, not only the roster and the players of TeamLiquid Academy, but also for the other T1 teams looking at these players.
Still in the technical pause, if you've only just joined us, it was Liquid Academy that took the pistol in the second. Vitality on a bit of a hot streak so far. Durka 7-3, topping the score sheets on the server. And I think that was one of the arguments that we made when we were watching Vitality last, is that Durka sort of warmed up into series and didn't really have the best of performances in the first map that we watched, obviously. In the second and third, it got a lot better, and we started to see that when Durka was fragging, it felt like Vitality were hitting like a sledgehammer.
I think a lot of that was on towards that Abyss map, though. So that's been a point of contention for the Vitality side, and that being brought up possibly in towards that third map of this series starts to cause concern. But still, back in towards this game, still focus on towards the very first map. Liquid Academy with weapons back out after the tech pause.
Okay. It's a very slow round. Durka firing off onto Rex Tones. It's a solo endeavor towards A main that gets punished. Still a minute left to go here in this round. We have GSR in spawn. I mean, seems to be moving. I don't know if it's passive or if there's still issues. We'll have to wait for confirmation on that. But for the time being, the rest of Team Liquid Academy group up towards B. Okay. Just to confirm, this map isn't, well, this round, I should say, is not live. So we have ourselves a longer technical timeout here. As you can see, Pearl going to have to be restarted, I do believe, with the technical issues that GSR is having.
Yeah, I think we're just going to get a round roll back in towards the last one that we saw as well, just getting confirmation from our admins for that. But so far, what was it? The 3-2 scoreline that we're seeing in favor of Vitality off the back of losing the pistol, not necessarily falling into the same trap that we saw over the last couple of days, and especially against Eternal Fire, them being a team that comes out of the gate running, that's something that you're possibly looking for Team Liquid Academy wanting to do in towards this map. It's a map that they've got an incredible win rate on, not just in general, but in this event itself over the last couple of days against the T1 opposition. So for them to be able to come in towards this one as well, you're hoping that they're able to have a little bit of an answer back after we get back in. But we'll keep you updated in regards to how everything's going, what the delay is looking like. But I'm already ready to see what this series, man. Yeah,
I want to see. I feel like, at least in my head, this was the People's Grands Finals. You know, I think we had like this heroic run from, I mean, it's Kyro's dream, to be honest, that Team Liquid Academy make it to the final. But it's a team that have captured the hearts of so many. I feel like not just us here, many at home as well, obviously, probably becoming bigger and bigger fans of this Team Liquid Academy side. Obviously for Vitality, probably the biggest name on the sheet when it comes to the teams that get invited into Phase 3 and the teams that manage to make it into Phase 4. I think a surprise that obviously Team Liquid Academy are playing Vitality here in the consolidation final, but another hurdle, I guess, a VCT team. Team Liquid Academy have done it a few times, so I don't see why one more isn't a problem.
Well, it's a short delay, round roll back, and we are back in towards the game, and this is a final confirmation that it is going to be live. So both sides ready to battle it out in towards the 6th. And you're looking at what they have to work with. You're looking at a couple of ults for Liquid Academy on towards the tag, the Fade ult, the Nightfall, the Dimensional Drift as well. A lot of stuff that they can be a little bit punchy with, and instead they want to go towards mid, and it's GSR that picks up both.
Great punish from GSR. Vitality want to overstep in the early round towards middle through Art, and that's where our battle stage punishes for the rest of Vitality. Time to recoup, gather their thoughts. Of course, it's very much a round that you either have to put everyone together or go for a retake and or save. So this one quite tricky. They go the wrong way though.
And it's nice to see them invest in this Dimensional Drift. Sure, they have the numbers, 5v3, but making sure they're not letting anything go overlooked. Inserts the Oro towards backside. The rest now falling into this B site. But the spike still's not actually gone down.
Mystic gives it a tap.
I need pulling them in.
Doesn't want to run the risk of being caught out by the rest of Vitality. On the other side of the map is the Astra though, so on a bit of a marathon to have some effect in this retake. Chronicle from the heavens. You thought that it would have been a chance. Instead, it's Yampi that delivers with a double.
And Mystic is low HP, and you're looking at, sure, Profect's now being able to make his way over. The Cosmic Divide from Liquid Academy is invested, but there's one for Profect to work with. They just need to clear out the players towards backside. He's got one, but the trade is exactly there for Rextoned.
Yampi needs another double. Waiting on the other side of the wall, invited into the fight, but Rextoned had it held the entire time. Team Liquid Academy take a third, and maybe a little bit closer than what they would have liked in the post plant. 3v5 still converted though, and it does level the scoreline.
I mean, we were looking at this from the side of Vitality in regards to not just having the slow starts, but the slow starts to round specifically in regards to being down in the 4v5s, the 3v5 positions, and being able to fight their way back to a winnable point of make sure a clutch would be required anyway, but bringing it into 2v2s, into even possibly 3v2s off the back of it, but struggling to close out the very end of the round. But for Liquid, it's an equalization, a couple of ults invested.
Go, go, go.
But for that third, it's important.
Early pressure towards A, denied by Vitality. They know that GSR likes to do this, where Patron wander forward usually is stacked on GSR already with the ult. Team Liquid Academy more than happy to share. But progress towards those ultimates is what will be denied by the Vitality hold.
And now Durka has a little bit of support in regards to Prophet of this position, but the thing is already taken out. It was supposed to be the bait and switch, but Durka can't get the trade off of it. And there, Vitality again down in the initial engagement. 4v5, a minute left on the clock.
Chronicle walks away just as Team Liquid Academy approach through middle. They won't be going through doors, but definitely could have been a lot of information fed through.
But the thing is, in regards to the lack of information that they're having over towards B, they want to keep the numbers on towards A because nothing's happened to the alarm button towards mid. Yampi can't spot anything out towards B long just yet, but when regards to the rotations, they're not very close.
Now he's going to know. Panic stations for Vitality, 4v5 and 3 players on A. They've got to be careful. And now they're going to be separated, forced in as you say. Rextone with the opener though, and there's nobody here to support. An isolated frag, giving Team Liquid Academy another opportunity and a second look at life. Durka will find GSR themselves, so the Sage removed and the numbers more compatible for both sides. As Vitality still interested in this retake. Swarm grenade to force Prox into the open, but Mystic and 1-0, finding 2, and the fade collects the last. Durka removed after 1, and Team Liquid Academy back in front.
You've got to be looking towards... You're looking about the rotations being so far away. It's only Yampi towards B, and this Armageddon, it's almost like a red carpet laid out in towards sight. It's forcing them forward, forces the engagement of 1v3, all in towards the same chokehold. Sure, you make a conversation if there was a spray down, but instead, it cuts Vitality out of that retake. No opportunity for Flood, no opportunity to get the rotates in place, and instead, Team Liquid Academy fortify the site with the Sage Walls, and again in towards this poke of aggression towards A main. Vitality starting to contest this more consistently. It's the different story for Liquid Academy. Sure, you send the initial poke and prod of 1-0, but TP's out immediately after any sense of utility being used by Vitality.
Team Liquid Academy, a much more passive approach to A. Walking rather than running. Prowler sent round the corner, but now they know that Prophet sat in the mouth of A main. They know that they can walk forward for free and not really get detected. The timing on that is pretty good. Rextone gets across. It's not spotted out, and now they have to pull the pin. They are just going to go straight for the A play. 1-0 to TP into the heart of sight. Sayonara, Hunter's Fury, trying to find these tags onto the Liquid Academy players. Will find one, but it's only on the last arrow that it delivers good news. 1-0, speaking of good news, tips the scales in favor of the Liquid Academy side. Durka's got everything to do in art, and unfortunately, the only pictures that paint the Vitality side are ones of sadness as they concede A. It looks to be pretty good for the Academy side, although Chronicle with another, the lockdown deployed. There are ultimates for Team Liquid Academy as well, but Sayonara fighting. In fact, for 3. Now, it's all in the hands of 1. Rextone with 2 points of health. Sayonara starts to stick it, and I don't think Rextone has it in him to win this round. The full defuse being held, he does pull off halfway, but Chronicle was always there to lend the helping hand. And Vitality find gold on the retake.
So much damage being done by the Vitality utility on the way in. You had 2 players on single points of HP. You can see in towards the retake. Sure, Sayonara not necessarily getting the greatest value from the ultimate, but it's the delay, a little bit of chip damage on towards players, and Durka in towards Art. That's the key piece of this, because on towards the retake, obviously Sayonara is hitting absolute blinders of a shot, but it forces ultimates out of Liquid Academy. It forces them into uncomfortable positions, and then in a 1v2, 2 points of health, all you realistically have to do is Chronicle hold down left click.
Held the line enough to tie our scoreline after 8 rounds. Liquid Academy feeling the wrath of the loss in the previous as again, one of these wonky investments, very top heavy.
Yeah, and now looking towards Art again. Not necessarily the best buy for them now. It's that back and forth in regards to who's facing the financial woes.
Chronicle. Information on Rextone and a fair bit of damage. He'll eventually convert onto the first of the Liquid Academy players that find themselves towards A. GSR up next to challenge the Chronicle, but unfortunately, They might all just fall into the same fate. Mystic will go as well. It's all very one by one, and Chronicle more than welcoming of these aim fights. 1-0 falls to the hands of Sayonara, and Yampi to secure a flawless 5th for Vitality.
Not letting anything go wayside against the eco of Liquid Academy. Nice little layering of utility into towards our just support Chronicle, but again, you're talking about it being aim fight. Simple as that. Now looking for the future of this half for both sides in regards to looking at the money situation for Liquid Academy. 3 players are down on towards the half armor. Yampi still has that outlaw.
Could be devastating. Durka.
And they're going right into it.
Wandering forward, Yampi, blinded by the smoke, knows that there's an opportunity for one of these players to get round the corner, and that will be the case. But Durka on an island here in B-Long, unfortunately, it's only one, and even then, his work reversed. GSR through the smoke, finding Yampi. And Vitality caught by this spring-boarded attempt towards the B site, and the kills just keep coming. I thought that Vitality might have an argument. Instead, roll over.
Mate, it's as simple as they're just winning out the gunfights, and it's not as if, sure, you talk about the fight on towards Long. Durka was basically in that 1v4, but again, offered up those initial engagements, gets the first, instant trade for the second, Sage Resurrection get utilized, so they're back up towards 5, and then from there, it's just initial individual engagements, all going in favor of Team Liquid Academy until Mystic goes for a wander in towards spawn.
Cutting through.
Such a deep post plant that Team Liquid Academy can hold, that Profek, even if he wanders into the site himself, there's just going to be no chance of getting this defuse stuck. Did have half a look, but I think, you know, to win this round, investing in ultimate, having smokes, things like that, it's all part of Vitality's plan, probably to use it later down the line. No need for heroics at the very moment, because it is only 5-5. After 10 rounds, we're tied up. A very back and forth game.
And only now we're starting to see the coaches wanting to get involved. It's initially the Vitality side and the Vitality coaching staff that pull the trigger on the timeout. But again, we're talking about it being in that 5-5 position. It's an important minute for both sides to talk through the last 10 rounds and what impact and what can be changed for the final 2. Knowing the difference between a 5-7 and a 7-5 could be incredibly impactful going in towards that next half.
A minute to discuss the remaining 2, as you say. Fine margins between winning it and losing it, and relying more or less on the second half pistol. As you say, it's Vitality staff. Pal leading the charge, telling Vitality the combination, what they need to do to get ahead of the curve, as Team Liquid Academy forcing Vitality to play chase.
I mean, you're looking what they have to work with again. You're looking for the Yara ultimate for the side of Liquid Academy. 1-0, saw how impactful that was of being able to split through mid in towards B, clear out towards the backside, get them into a post plant where they can look towards the utility to solidify the site. You're looking towards GSR's wall, Mystic in regards to the post plant with the Astra utility. But for Vitality, they also have a couple of things for the retake as well. You're looking at the Cosmic Divide.
Who's next?
1-0. Has a look towards R, wants to know and figure out what's happening towards A. We've seen this a couple of times now. Drops the drift, runs through R, gets the info into backside. Ideally would have TP'd out. Chronicle, quick to the trigger, will punish. And now Team Liquid Academy have to figure out what they need to do without 1-0 by their side. GSR jumping about, trying to escape the jaws of Sayonara. He waves goodbye to Prox. Profek delivers more good news as Vitality destroy Team Liquid Academy towards A.
I mean, there's the Cosmic Divide towards backside. The only issue is the players are ahead of it for Vitality, fighting forward with great conversion on towards it. 5v2. And with Durka already pushing the issue on towards B and Profek in towards mid, there's little places where the final 2 players of Liquid Academy can hide. That's what they need to do. 30 seconds left.
Ideally. No chance to win the round. GSR still got his wall and
Walls them off. Wants the save.
yeah, puts it up. Blocked by barrier. As TeamLiquid Academy try and bunker up towards their spawn just outside A main. You can see that Durka pinging, they know, and they might even go hunting here. Time is low.
I mean, surely any weapon you can take off the board of the remaining 2 players would be impactful.
Durka drops his stun, slides into the open. Spike's dropped, not that it matters. GSR wanting to tuck in the corner and save, has to pull the trigger. And Profek is there to make sure that Vitality find 6. A late lunge for Vitality here, one that could reward them with a half win.
And again, off the back of a timeout, the conversion rate, I wish we had a stat for it because it has to be insane. Not only just for the conversion round off the back of it, but also the streak of rounds that we tend to see coming in from the Vitality side after that minute pause. But still 1 left in towards this half. And you can see the ramifications of those 2 rifles being taken off the board. Sure, there's a strong investment for Liquid Academy, but 1 player down onto the Sheriff.
Durka with the operator in hand, more than happy to play the angle. Now just dropping the ult to close the gap between himself and 1-0, but it's the sniper gifted to the TeamLiquid Academy side, and there's clear disinterest towards B.
Yeah, and this is a gap for the side of Vitality. Sure, you have the molly there, but there's not necessarily a turret or an alarm bot watching it. So you can see for Profek having to check the angles, check the possibility of going through sewers. Still, not too much pressure on towards the Vitality side. You're looking that they're re-clearing towards B. Now the rotates are starting to shift over, or at least to reinforce towards this mid position.
Yeah, you can see Profek playing so far back. They have the ultimates, the divide, they have the Hunter's Fury to hand as well, so can afford to give up the space and, as you say, deny the plant, play for the round with utility. Profek, that's a good start. Hunter's Fury now deployed. You can see GSR trying to get caught out by it as Sayonara will deliver. 1-0 finds Profek, but 20 seconds left. They've got to force Vitality far enough away to get this spike down.
Thing is, they don't necessarily have to worry about Flowers just yet, but it's the flank that they have to be worried about. Chronicle
walking in. Back turn of 1, shot the decoy, so will be blinded and gives 1-0 time to tuck tail and delivers for the first. Has an escape route now with the use of his utility. Belt now dry, but needs to start shooting. Operator closing the gap, but Sayonara finds 1 more, and Vitality strikes 7 at the end of the first half.
Yes, Yampi just sneaking around that corner, not given the opportunity, and with the position being towards Art. You needed that first initial kill, then you had the TP, like you said, the way out in towards main. Spike not planted for him. Forces the engagement, forces the run forward on towards that operator, and it's just an uncomfortable position to be in, but for the side of Vitality, you're happy with the stabilization that you had, and also the fact that they're able to walk away with a half won.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at this scoreline, other than that 3-2 position, it was very back and forth. 4 out of the last 5, so Vitality hold a lot of the momentum heading into this second. But Pistols have plagued the Vitality side yesterday. I'm wondering if that's a deep cut wound that still needs time to heal. Eternal Fire, we were saying 4-0, 5-0, 6-0 over Vitality in that semi-final BO3.
What does have to be in the back of mind for Vitality, though, is Liquid Academy is stronger on towards the defensive side. It's easy to see, right, of the double sentinel, but the difference is probably about like 70-75% win rate for Team Liquid Academy on towards the defense, so they're not out of it just yet, but a pistol would certainly help.
Rex toned. Wandering through mid, getting the information where the turret was, breaks it apart to make sure that Vitality left a little more clueless as to what Team Liquid Academy are doing towards middle.
I mean, Liquid Academy don't also have the information. Sure, you've got the wall in towards Art just to block off that, but the difference between Vitality is they had the Killjoy to be able to put that turret on towards long. Liquid Academy have to go looking for the information.
And now they'll pull the pin towards A. At least that's what they want Team Liquid Academy to believe. You can see Durka now marked by the Fade Util. And they know that Art is under control. The spike has options, but it will head towards A. Sayonara
30 seconds
gives
left.
it a tap. Try and force the hand of Team Liquid Academy, but in the meantime, they actually dip away. They'll move out of A, and they will rotate to B. And this is a pivotal moment where Team Liquid Academy drop their guard and move all their resources to the other side of the map.
But they've been able to secure the numbers for the side, being able to deal with the insert over towards A. Sure, the time was low, but the spike goes down. So looking at the retake for the side of Liquid, they have a lot to work with. You're looking towards the flashes for 1-0, popping them out of heaven possibly. But there's so many smokes on towards the site, it's getting awkward.
They're all going to just leap through. Now they have some information. They use the swarm tactic to take the site. Chronicle with the first, Durka a second. As Chronicle strikes twice, Prophet with one, Sayonara the last. Vitality keep it clean.
They lose the instant on towards A, but when it comes to the retake, even after the smokes drop, with Team Liquid Academy all retaking from that spawn position, it's an easy crossfire to establish, both with players in towards backside, in towards Link, or just stood out in the open as you're looking towards Durka. Clean as can be in the post plant. Only casualty, like I said, is Yampy, who was left behind. So split pistols in towards this one, and again looking towards Liquid Academy. On towards this defense, what damage can they do? Both teams favoring the pressure over towards A initially. But the thing is, most of the time they back off.
1-0 was the player to move forward and take the orb, so prioritizing that dimensional drift over anything else. Mystic throwing some shoulder out towards A main and gets the information of a couple of bodies that Vitality have put there. But the problem is, it's these arms that hold rifles compared to Team Liquid Academy's pistols. Sayonara goes for the spike plant. They know the resistance on site is too high to fight immediately. Team Liquid Academy will choose to group up and try and do this with a brute force tactic. 4 players together, ready to go. The wall to be dropped up as Durka isolates 1-0, goes for the wall bang for extra information, and Vitality questioning what Team Liquid Academy are now going to do.
Is this a wall just to deny Vitality pushing in towards spawn position, getting those ultors? Because for the side of Liquid Academy, maybe wanting to go down towards the spike, knowing that they have a little bit of a one-way, so they can't force the issue, but seemingly mistaken Dirk and Profek make it work.
Prox drops Chronicle with the right click. Profek finds the trade, and in fact, a third on the Sheriff. So Vitality, only 1 casualty. They take themselves a very weird way to close out this round. And for Team Liquid Academy, as you say, I guess just trying to deny ult orbs, trying to deny Vitality of getting ahead in that regard.
Yeah, but they still all go down, so side Vitality looking at that as being a job well done. Keeping a fair few players alive, keeping the weapons, and looking at this, this is not a bonus in any sense of the word for Vitality. This is just rifle round. So an opportunity for themselves to snowball in towards this.
This is a real swing round as well. If Vitality can take 10, you feel like Team Liquid Academy are going to be buried here in their own graveyard of Pearl. Taken so many names on it so far. Vitality not wanting to be added to the list. They do take the early hit. Yampy quick on the trade, but Mystic follows right up.
And the first time Liquid Academy took a loss on this in regards to this roster is one of the first officials that they had in towards the Monsters Reloaded event against CGN. Since then, not only taking fellow Tier 2 teams out, but also taking the likes of Foot, taking down Giant X on towards it. But possibly Vitality learning from the mistakes of underestimating possibly Tier 2 teams, the likes of Eternal Fire. And instead, in towards this one, had a fire lit under them. Although, down in numbers, and looking at the flank from Liquid Academy, do you expect this Vitality? I don't think so.
1-0.
Spike down.
Fantastic double, drops the spike, and it's all left in the hands of Profek. A 1-on-4 with 20 seconds to go. Gonna need
Right there.
one of the rounds of all time to be able to win this one out, and I just don't think that's gonna happen. Time about to expire. Profek
10
knows it's
seconds
better
left.
to just Bunker down at the back of B. Will eventually go for a swing. Bit of extra damage, I think he'd consider to be quite nice. But TeamLiquid Academy respond in kind. 4 survive, the round is theirs. And the buffer back down to 3.
Yeah, love the approach from TeamLiquid Academy. We're talking about them being proactive with the information that they're necessarily lacking in regards to the composition, and looking towards no necessarily the Killjoy or the Cypher that you can pop some trips down and just forget about it, having to constantly search for the information, grouping up as 4, going for that wraparound. Completely catches Vitality off guard. Sage will use...
Knocking them.
I can see that Vitality don't want to overstep their boundaries too early on into this round. I think they know that TeamLiquid Academy are more than happy to take fights and make trades in the early round. And as you can see, all very slow.
And that's one of the hard pieces of utility we were talking about, the comparison of not having the Killjoy, is the Vise Wall already being utilized, or at least drained early on. Durka wanting to peek into it, into the double stack, but still managed to walk away from one. GSR was taken out of the mix, but wants to throw his hat into the ring now. Spotted out, damage done.
But it doesn't matter. Still able to find another. Vitality thinned out down to 3 once again. It's more manageable as TeamLiquid Academy also took the early sacrifices. The Astra gone as well. And in fact, look at this. TeamLiquid Academy taking a bigger gamble towards B than they are on A. Only one Zeru left to defend. Hits the first, but needs a few more. It's the spike down and the smoke to go up.
I have the spike.
Vitality will try and move forward. Sayonara to stick it, or at least try to.
Spike planted.
We'll find it. 1-0 information knows that Sayonara in 2 minds about heading towards R. Timing not good for Profek. And all in the hands of the Sova as Prox finds 3. It's TeamLiquid Academy that finds 7.
Oh, that might have been the way back in, but Prox slip in the net, going unnoticed by the Vitality players. We were talking about the swing round of when it was at that 9-5 scoreline, Vitality with the full buy, an opportunity to push up on towards 10. That was the bonus. Now losing out on towards the full rifle round, this is where the money comes into a question for the side of Vitality. Down towards Sheriffs, Stingers even for Durka. And now it's 1-0's turn to go for the Outlaw. Saw Yampy on it in the first half. Now focus on towards the Yoru, a player that has been outstanding so far in towards this match. And currently set up over towards B. Not necessarily going to find too many early engagements as the focus for Vitality is towards mid.
Oh. Yoru taking a bit of early damage. Durka tried it too many times for Prox's liking. Jumped through the doors to see if information could be gathered instead. Takes one to the head through the wall, and it's now TeamLiquid Academy that are being also passive in their setup. Know that Vitality are going to have to make a move. Rextone's getting some information as bodies fly through doors. Rextone, it's fantastic!
Spike down mid.
Yampy, Sayonara, Profek fall to the same pair of hands. All on Chronicle, 1 on 5. Talk about an introduction back into this map. TeamLiquid Academy had to fight back from a fairly big deficit, and now looking confident in doing so.
Yeah, looking towards Rexstone, just can't even comment. Nothing to improve. Deals with all 3. It's relatively a tight triple peak from Vitality through the double door, but through the tight choke point means it's easy enough for Rexstone to collect all 3, all headshots as well. So putting a little bit of flair on towards it. And another player starting to step up for the side of Liquid Academy, starting to have those multi-kill rounds. And as they're building back into this, obviously, sure, that was just an eco for the side of Vitality, but they were hoping they could get something going, some sort of damage.
Very nice.
Instead, a flawless round.
Turn out.
Swing round previously indeed, but it's the swing for Vitality to start slipping, but Chronicle has an answer back now that the operator is in his hands.
No more.
And see that the Vine's being destroyed as Rex toned weaken towards B. Still anticipating some sort of pressure on A. Vitality aware of TeamLiquid Academy's antics. This time it's towards B. 3 people in and about. We saw this kind of fight yesterday. GSR up top, plenty of bodies moving forward. Shouldn't be able to find more than one Profec. That will be the case. Prox will trade. 3 on 4. Vitality up a few though.
I mean, the shot from Chronicle should be leading TeamLiquid Academy to believe that there's more players there, at least a confirmation of one. But off the back of it, they tuck tail and run and rotate over. Fortunately, that means they're going to avoid the Sayonara ultimate, but it's going to be a free site for Vitality. Unless Prox has something to say.
Prox is quite close. I think maybe an unanticipated spot for this Phantom to sit. Prox had a chance. Can't claw the numbers. Mystic finds the first. This retake needs to be faultless for TeamLiquid Academy. They'll use the Nightfall as well. GSR gets one and a second, in fact, from the stage. Chronicle left alone. Operator in hand and 1 point of health, has to get that up and take some time and create some distance, but GSR, pros don't fake.
I don't know if he didn't get necessarily the sound cue, that the molly didn't go off because of the Nightfall.
Exactly that. I think he anticipated, one, that the molly was going to do damage and force them away. Second off, that he wouldn't have even heard the defuse because of the ultimate used. Vitality crumble, even with the numbers game in their favor, out towards B. And as we cut back, you can see the second pause now called for Vitality. Some issues to be discussed with only a few rounds left to play in regulation.
And for the equalization of rounds from Liquid Academy off the back of not only just losing the half, then losing in towards the pistol, it was 9-5. And it's the streak of rounds for the defensive side, like I was alluding to, of this being the stronger side, a dominant side, in fact, for Liquid Academy in the past few matches, not only against Tier 1 opposition, Tier 2 and the likes of it. So definitely focus on towards Vitality to throw a spanner in the works. Again, this is the first time what we're seeing pull out of this roster, again with the newer additions. It's not as if they've had incredible official reps that, on the likes of Liquid Academy, they've got 9 under their belt.
Yeah, and they're not exactly playing bad teams, are they? It's safe to say. You know, they talk about the quality of opponents that they've been playing on this map in the last few months. Even if you just look more specifically in the scope of this tournament. Kings being dethroned everywhere TeamLiquid Academy look. Speaking of which, huge fight. Both players send off a warning shot, but 1-0 gets there first.
Back with the second shot quicker than Chronicle. And again, another entry in favor of Liquid Academy. No chance to trade back, obviously being the extremity player. Dirkus wants to make his presence known in towards mid. Spots out the stage. Decides not to press further, but there's utility pushing GSR back, so there's some space for Vitality to work with. They're not being offered opportunities to get kills.
Problem is that TeamLiquid Academy are now playing in groupings, right? They're happy to give up this middle position, but play more bolstered insights, wanting to play for the round. And look at this. Proactivity. Even with the advantage, TeamLiquid Academy take the entirety of B long, and that now forces the hand of Vitality. Not that they know it, but because mid, not a favorable destination, they might just walk right into it.
But that's the thing, you look at where TeamLiquid Academy are, you've got deep B main control, you have a player watching sewers, everything's watched for, and even then, sure, you spot a player out, you isolate the 1v1, and yet it's Rex turn to get it. Thankfully, there's a trade back for Sayonara, but the numbers are still in favor of the defense.
And there's no plan B, there's 15 seconds, 1-0, shorty pulled, can't hit a shot. 12 seconds left, they have to make a dart for the site as Durka opens it up. Prox there for one and there for the second. It gets very hairy for TeamLiquid Academy, but just about deliver double digits. It's 10-9.
And for the way that Liquid Academy are playing in towards this defense without necessarily much sentinel utility in regards to being able to, like I said, pop it down, leave it, you get notified if someone pops through. You're looking towards the setup that they had, double players on towards long, they leave B open, they leave mid open, you have water being watched for, you have players on towards A watching the push in towards the deep backside. And you look at the rotates, how fast that they can be, but initial aggression.
Punished. Yampi more than welcoming of 1-0's antics. Mystic on the other side as well. Proxter! He's just hit 3 in the matter of moments. Profek fires back for a double. And as the dust settles, it's a 2v2. A chaotic way to start round 20. And Profek's got 3 of his own.
And taking off the stage there, so pivotal, because that could have been Liquid Academy's way back in. Get the resurrection up, but Rextone wants to be the difference maker himself.
Not all done just yet. Rextone eyeing up another clutch. A 1v2 this time against Vitality's own.
Ults across the board for everyone. It's just whether Rextone believes to utilize it, knowing he's a little bit late to this rotation, unaware of any positions of the Vitality players. Smoke picked up, enables the reposition of Profek in towards long.
Rextone moves forward, inching into this B site, needs to be careful of every angle, but we can see Chronicle playing from this connector spot. Astra deep on long, Profek more than happy to play for time, has stars to spare in a round like this, and as time dwindles down, Rextone now, it's a very binary choice, stick it or go hunting, because I don't think there's enough time to do both, as Chronicle will penalize. It's 10-10.
And it's the fact that Chronicle peaks before the Astra Stars even utilized. That's what you expect to be used first. Pulling them off the spike, forcing them to go for the fight, or just to buy time anyway. It doesn't even come down to it. Chronicle takes the opportunity, goes for a little bit of a spray, maybe expecting him to be looking his way. Double dips for the kill. And yeah, you're looking towards Prox on towards mid. Keeps it competitive for sure, but Vitality using the time to their favor. Now you're looking at this. It's equalized. It's 10-10. There's so many ults to work with. There's an operator as well still for 1-0. He starts exploring towards main. There's a couple of targets. He might become one himself.
Yeah, I was going to say, position compromised. Hope that he could find his way into safety a little quicker. GSR wanting these gunfights, but unfortunately, as you can see, Chronicle ready to force them away through the power of utility rather than rifle work.
The thing, like you're talking about utility, there's a fair few ultimates on the board. Obviously, we're looking at the lockdown being utilized early on. Armageddon's being tiered up as well. This could be insane if it goes towards Linger instead. It's the clear towards backside. That means that they can flood their way in, but 1-0's already managed to get one.
And GSR brings Proxer back to life. Durka on the corner.
Can't punish.
Wanted to find a few. Instead, left empty-handed. Clone out of the equation, but look at the numbers here. Rextone wants to move forward, and all sorts of utility being deployed by Team Liquid Academy in this round.
They're all 5 retaken from the same point. The ult's barely touched anyone, because look at how far back Vitality are playing. Ultimate's used, but 1-0's gotten another kill.
Sayonara fights back. Mystic nearly sticks to halfway, but forced off. Sayonara with one. Profek the second. Proxter still fighting back as he returned to life by GSR. Time is ticking. There's not enough of it as Durka delivers with a double. All in the hands of Proxer, and Durka's hat trick secures 11 for Vitality.
So much damage being done through the spams that it's just simply a slide, a peek, a wall bang for Durka, be able to close that round himself. And you're looking towards this replay. The ultimate gets them out on towards side. You have the Cosmic Divide even utilized, but the issue is you're way back in towards that round. Everybody was coming from the same position. The ultimates utilized do nothing to Vitality because they were already in a comfy post plant, back in towards main, back in towards site, and it was so one-dimensional from Liquid Academy on that retake, no matter how much they invested into it.
And now their backs well and truly are against the wall. If they want to win this in regulation, they have to scoop the rest. 3 in a row. If they're one short of the mark, it's not just regulation that we'll be seeing on Pearl. Overtime's included. Any less, and Vitality will pinch away the Team Liquid Academy pick.
I mean, this was the type of round that Liquid Academy were great at onto the attack. You're looking at the double ultimates from the Yoru and the Fade. That's what could be the pivotal point for this. Rotations are coming through. Many players focused on towards this B site.
They want the space. Vitality earning it with the Hunter's Fury, but GSR stands strong. In the heart of the site, stood in the open. And actually, Vitality disinterested in taking these fights after one. Backing away after losing the early man. Durka now has to watch from his teammates' perspectives as Prophet... Oh, what? Sayonara! 2 for 1 as Mystic and Rextone hit twice, both of them with 1 bullet.
Not like this, and as well, you're looking towards Chronicle finding his way through a... Wanzero is here. But this could be the way back in for Team Liquid Academy, and instead this is an open carpet for Vitality to rotate the spike in towards A. Numbers so heavily in favor of the attackers. You're looking towards Liquid Academy. Do they even want to go for this? Ultimates used, weapons scarce in regards to looking towards what they'd have in towards the next round, and Vitality going to be up on towards map point.
I mean, you can see there where the bodies lie.
What was that?
They're just, I don't know, making sure the hair looks good from behind. I don't know what the idea was there, but Liquid Academy punished for it.
But did Sayonara even see them? There was a smoke in his face.
Smoke. I'm guessing it was just straight collat. Pure fortune. Sometimes luck does make the difference, and Vitality will be thanking the lucky stars, as that is a real difference maker to find themselves at 12th. Liquid Academy, now their only choice is overtime if they want any argument of winning their selection of Pearl. GSR, Constellation frag, Yampi walks into it, but as you heard the announcement saying match point, it's Vitality on Team Liquid Academy's pick.
Yeah, there was a smoke. Absolutely no idea that it was going to be a double kill. I wish we could have heard the audio comms of the reaction to that, because, like you said, when it comes down to 1 or 2 rounds in a series, 1 or 2 rounds in a map, luck can be that difference factor. And for that to be putting up Vitality in towards map point against Liquid Academy that have been on an absolute tear on towards this one. And with the next map, you're looking towards what Vitality have their own record on towards that. Obviously, still time for Team Liquid Academy to have the answer back. 2 rounds required just to push this in towards overtime. And Bacon taking the second timeout. Still, ultimates to work with, right? You're looking towards Wanzero, hasn't necessarily had the opportunity to use that just yet. So in the back pocket of the Yoru, an information finder. Maybe that's what Liquid Academy need, because the rotations started to be influenced by the tricks of Vitality, and especially looking towards Chronicle, even with the operator being that extremity player, finding spaces. Academy just need to put the pieces in the right place.
And only once more on Pearl.
Here.
All very slow, of course. It's Vitality's pick of Corrode next, so on that Team Liquid Academy are going to have to return that favor on should it go Vitality's way.
Sage will going to be dealt with initially, but you're looking towards the jump peek from Mystic. It's a bait and switch for Wanzero, but still unable to connect the shots, but a little bit of damage being done, but you would have loved to take that piece off of the board, a piece that was so crucial in the previous.
Next Tones, looking for damage. Our drone being sent forward, so has to back away
Here.
try and play towards safety. That will be the case. Dimensional Drift, 1-0 now has compromised the entire plan of Vitality. They know what they're up to. The question is, do they want to go shooting fish in a barrel towards middle or let Vitality make up their mind?
But that's the thing. It's 40 seconds. Now 30 seconds left for the side of Vitality to shuffle their cards, shuffle the deck, and change where they want to go. And it looks like it's GSR that's going to miss the timing. And the thing is, Yampi's seen him.
It's all down to GSR, who gets caught by surprise. Mystic's in the heart of the site. Needs to do something huge from the pit position. Time is low. Durka just spams him out through the wall. 1-0 gets the trade. Moves forward into this retake. Takes a lot of damage to the molly. Chronicle posted up in the middle of sight. Down to 2 at TeamLiquid Academy. Proxer alongside Rex Tones. 2 names that have found themselves in a kill feed a few times. But you're asking too much. Vitality steal away Pearl as the Hornets sting first.
And you're looking towards the series as well in the context of the next map. Liquid Academy had their way back.
Does favour Vitality.
And even with the changes, this is the very first time we're actually seeing the blended draft affect Vitality in regards to not being able to field the agent select that they were wanting or have previously done. But for the side of Vitality, you swap the Sova for a Fade, swap the Astra for an Omen. It's not as if it's a revolutionary change to the composition. On the other hand, that's something that TeamLiquid Academy are going to have to deal with. In the last couple of matches, sure, they're still playing with the Viper and the KO, but losing out onto the Fade, you're looking towards the Omen as well being picked up. So there's definitely a lot of changes for Liquid Academy coming into this compositionally wise. And being down a map already in the series onto one of the home grounds for Vitality so far, but starting you off good with an initial pickup in towards mid.
Beautifully done, Durka. Quick trade as TeamLiquid Academy's numbers thin in parallel to that of TeamLiquid Academy. And some more shots coming out. The flank from 1-0 early towards middle, and it's going to force Vitality forwards. TeamLiquid Academy have to take the space towards A. 1-0 finds another with his Sheriff. And the numbers begin to thin, and it's not for both sides as Mystic collects another. It's Rex Tone that delivers good news as TeamLiquid Academy take the pistol.
Yes, not even just good news of getting the final kill, but knowing the game plan for TeamLiquid Academy. You had the flank coming in from 1-0, it's crunched towards mid. Looking towards the replay, Vitality corralled into a corner. All he realistically has to do is survive, force the engagements to the pack, allowing them to pick up the first round of this map. An important one as well to start this off on the good foot. Given the context of the last and the context of this map for Vitality, 1-0 Outlaw out, misses the first shot, but a warning shot to the Vitality players. See, they don't necessarily want to stick around off the back of that. Decide to look elsewhere. Leave Chronicle. To at least have some pressure and have the information that 1-0 is not going for another little bit of a wander.
Forces pulled back from B towards A. Chronicle fires off one of his own, just letting them know that the chamber is there. Ready to shoot heads. Mystic, edge of the smoke. Could be huge as a lot of these players start lining up. It's fantastic. 1-0 and then Mystic's double. Yampi blind in all of this as Mystic collects his third. They know that the chamber was outside B, taking an orb as well before Chronicle walks around a corner, so even more development towards those ultimates. As Chronicle, nice shot onto 1-0, but Mystic wants to say differently to what the desk said, needed Mystic to step up in terms of the fragging department. They were talking about his belief in the struggles of combining IGL with the fragging. 4 against the pistols. Admittedly, a cheap way to get kills, but important nonetheless to make it clean.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you're looking towards the side of Liquid Academy, right? You're looking towards Mystic, playing with a little bit of confidence, not only in regards to getting the kills, but also in towards the mid-round. You see some IGLs, they enter the flow state, right? You start getting those kills, you start having the reads right. Hopefully, maybe it can convert in towards those mid-round calls like the desk asked of. It might be the right call, but the utility is just a little bit late, and instead of an entry in favor of the defenders, it's a double entry for Vitality.
Yeah, I think the KO flash misplaced. GSR was expected to introduce TeamLiquid Academy to this engagement towards B, but none of the Vitality players blind. And now it puts them in a fantastic spot. 5 on 3. They don't have to go anywhere. And stand their ground, know that Team Liquid Academy, wherever they walk, the numbers sit in favor of the attackers.
Makes sense then why they're going to be grouping up as 5 outside of B. Mystic now joining the tail end of the pack. Smokes go out. Prox is in towards the middle of sight. Has been spotted though.
Prox finds one, Sayonara trades. GSR in the middle of sight, has to hit heads, and first with the Bulldog finding its first. You feel like one might be enough, and Durka will agree. Second denied into 3 as Vitality get their first.
Yes, this initial engagement over towards main. See the paranoia not yet going out, and like you mentioned, the flash. Not sure where it ended up, but definitely not in front of the Vitality players. Get the double entry and then just play the trade game all the way through. Wise decision to group up as 5, not letting any stragglers get caught off guard. Now in towards this. Zeru. Not wanting to stick around too long. After spotting out 3.
What a call. Oh my word, what an adjustment. 1-0 with no chance. Mystic required to trade a 4-on-4.
I mean, even for a 1-for-1, you have to be looking towards the side of, well, Liquid Academy of being able to adjust and get the first. Insane though.
Decoy.
With the ultimate available for Sayonara. Could be a way to force their way in towards side, but it's not, might not even be needed. Durka, one-man army over towards B.
Look at this. GSR's going to walk forward. There's plenty of bodies around the corner. The Omen TP towards B, so only one defender on A. Durka pulls a massive distraction. Vitality not instantaneous with their push. Take their time.
But the thing is, he knows that there's going to be one fast in towards spawn.
Prox in the smoke. 3 players to find. Hits the first of Mystic, gets the second. The spike coughed up in the middle of all of this, as Prophet has to take a slower tone with 20 seconds. TPs from left to right, but Team Liquid Academy want to go hunting. A second TP.
He's got to run.
As Prophet tries to escape the jaws of Team Liquid Academy. Durka needs to hit one shot, misses his chance, but Prox walks right back into it. Vitality get a second in arguably the weirdest way possible.
A little bit of an awkward round in the middle. Durka losing the time in towards spawn with the TPs back and forth, but yeah, looking at that. Lovely shot from Chronicle to start it off, but this is where it gets interesting. The rotates comes through. Prox was spotted out on towards the rotate. Same goes the Omen player in towards spawn. But enough damage being done for Durka to close it out. Sure, maybe more costly than they would have hoped, especially given the start.
Mystic didn't even get to see anyone before being tagged up to more or less 10 points of health.
They want to fight this though.
Flash to go high. 1-0 has a look, sees nothing immediately, has to back away.
And the thing is, with Sayonara already being ahead of the smoke anyway, avoids the flash. A lot of information for Vitality to work with, and they just want to give the kills to Durka.
Fantastic. Quad kill coming up from Durka, keeps it clean against the Team Liquid Academy side. The old guard delivering once more, and it's a exact replica of what we had in map 1. Team Liquid Academy take the first, take the second, and then 3 in a row. Team Liquid Academy choke up early doors and let Vitality back in.
You can understand the pressure on towards the defensive side. Sure, that was a lower buy. Wanted to try and make a little bit of a set play in towards mid. You have the paranoia, the flash going out, but nobody was home. At least no engagements being offered up. And then instead, it's them who offer up all of the engagements towards Durka. But 3 rounds on the trot for Vitality is not something Bacon wants to allow to continue.
Got to take this Vitality momentum out of the equation quickly. As we stare at the man that has made the biggest difference so far on the server. giving Team Liquid Academy little room in a lot of these rounds. Bacon given the whole minute to discuss what Team Liquid Academy need to change. And now it's time to put pen to paper. Start converting this theory into results.
They will have a prime opportunity to do it so in towards this round. The Odin's back out for Prox. Also, Manzaro's got an operator. Posted up on towards main, but the flash gets him off the angle. Cannot adjust in time. Does get some damage done on towards the other side of the map though. When you're looking at Chronicle taking the outlaw shot himself on towards Prox in mid.
Here.
Prowler. GSR's able to escape it, gets the knife down in the meantime, and that's, I believe, a few bodies detected in the bottom of middle. Profek also spotted by the Owl drone, 1-0, happy to walk in, making the TP noise, and it's actually, I was going to say, fooled a couple of players outside B, but then he does exactly that, so all expected at less than the minute mark as Yampi just flies round the corner and catches the KO off. Sayonara gifted a frag as Mystic walks through a main, and all of a sudden, this round looking destined for Vitality as Durka delivers again.
And the thing is, with the numbers advantage in favor of Vitality and Liquid Academy, you have so much ground to cover. With this being
Here.
the buy round off the back of, well, an eco. They invested up in towards an operator. They invested in towards the Odin. The operator now down cold on the floor, as you can see on your screen. Durka wanting to be the bodyguard of this, not wanting any recovery of this premium weapon. Oh,
Prox.
Right here.
I was going to say, lets Durka buy, pings his position, but has to do that himself. Yampi dips into cover just as the recon bolt goes out. Prox unexpected that Yampi is so close. And Rextoned out on B, left to save.
I mean, that's also the operator and Odin now gone. Side of Liquid Academy is something to carry over in towards the next. I wouldn't be too surprised if Chronicles even recycled the operator in towards mid. We'll get confirmation soon enough, and yeah. Beginning the round with an outlaw, ending it with an operator. I call that an upgrade.
And it's what Harry was saying on the desk, right? Is that we need to see Chronicle start finding impact with the operator. If he can pick up some kills early and cause more problems, yes, probably more effective on that defense. But considering Durka's 10-3, you feel like if Chronicle can turn up the temperature, Team Liquid Academy are going to be left with little to no chance.
In towards this one. It's again a lower buy for Liquid Academy, and again a mid-focused start. Knife goes out, reveals that no one's scaled up. You're wanting to put Rextoned in a position with this hero rifle to be a difference maker. Look for those entries, and even if he's not necessarily able to connect them, maybe recycle the weapon after he's done with it.
Liquid getting proactive towards middle, but it's A that the Yoru ult is used. Durka clearing all sorts of space. And he'll be questioning even himself. You know, there is nothing here. No one's stopping us from walking on out and planting the spike.
Spike planted.
Now that the trip is removed from behind, Chronicle prepared to shoot. And that he does. Rextone first to fall out of the operator. Recon dart removed as Yampi finds GSR. Chronicle still walking in. Missed shot. Has the headhunter. Relies on Sayonara to find both, in fact. There's Chronicle's operator on the floor, but in a safe enough position. Mystic, well, not nearby to pick it up, and won't have a life to do so either. 5 on the board for Vitality.
No conversion off the back of the timeouts from Liquid Academy. Starting to get dire when it was 3-2, because it was the rifles that Vitality was starting to string together, and now with 5 on the trot. Weapons back out for Liquid, but starting to look at the players that were heating up. You mentioned Durka, Yampi as well, being ever consistent on towards these looks, being a thorn in the side of the defenders. The solo initiator not even needed for Vitality to make it out. Getting towards the post plant. But maybe in towards this one. Nightfall utilized towards the left side of the site. It's not going to tag anyone, but it's the route in towards B.
Prox mollied into Sayonara's crosshair. Oh, and a second through the smoke. Almost instinctual that Rextone was there.
There.
TeamLiquid Academy, I mean, only one player really got to see the enemy that round, and already they have to move away and save.
Yeah, you don't even want the rest of the Liquid Academy players to see anyone, right? You want them to be able to keep these weapons going in towards the next, because how decisive was that from Vitality? A quick change of pace, Nightfall, complete execute in towards B. And sure, they're going for a little bit of a hunt. Liquid players able to do some sort of damage. But it almost feels too little too late.
Nicely done, GSR, at least finding some damage. Not that it will mean a lot to the Vitality economy, but it's damage nonetheless. They take 6 already on the attacking side of Corrode.
Yeah, look at this replay. Sayonara. Molly's Prox out of position, and you almost feel bad for Rextone just catching a bullet to the face. At least GSR is able to get a couple of exits on the way out. But at this point, exits mean nothing to Vitality.
Knife gathering information, 1-0 at least. With the opener, it's been a while since we've able to assign that to TeamLiquid Academy. GSR offered little to no chance to stick around. Tag through the wall, leaving him down to 30 as Profek now wants to assume space.
I mean, this setup in towards mid, you can see GSR holding on towards that flash. That can either be popped on contact of one of the players close up in towards the crossfire, or in a timing. So there's a lot of flexibility for Liquid there, and especially with the information they have towards B main. There's not much space on the map where Vitality could be. And now with...
Oh, this is perfect. So much utility. Mystic had no chance, pulled into the corner. Durka embracing the opening kill, not just for one though. Prox gets one back as Profek removed. And in fact, Durka tries to psych out GSR. As Yampi now left in a 1-on-3. The Academy's best chance yet when they've had rifles. But it's Yampi left to try and do it all. Now compromised in the middle of sight. Rextone and GSR start to close the gap. It's Proxer that's still trying to bait this out. As Yampi moves away to fight towards Connector. Has to hit the first, but over the head of Proxer goes the rounds, and Yampi forced to concede in the 1-on-3.
I mean, Prox knows he's the only player isolated, doesn't want to give the opportunity for the 1v1. For the 2 ways for Liquid Academy back in towards the site. At least keeps Yampi's head on a swivel. Fortunately, it's the break in the drought of rounds that TeamLiquid Academy have been trying to get across the board, and for most part of it, didn't even necessarily have a chance in towards it, because you're looking at the double kills, the double entries being forced on towards the back foot so early on, forced to save. And in towards this one, it was the initial kill on towards Sayonara on mid. Stops the 7th in a row for Vitality of being converted.
And Vitality relying on the tour de force of Chronicle. Don't worry, he's not without a gun in this round. And look at this setup. Vitality aren't interested in walking into the shenanigans that TeamLiquid Academy keep trying to apply in middle. 5 bodies sit outside A main. They want blood. And Sayonara to use to run it back, creating space and opportunity. Stun goes missing. And in sight, it's Sayonara that finds 1-0, continues to push further forward as well. We'll see the Omen TP back into safety, but it's space that's offered up for Yampi to plant. Chronicles found Proxer in the meantime. GSR getting aggressive with his teammate, but unfortunately, Yampi's there for both. It's all in the hands of Rextone, who will move away from A and towards B.
And again, it's the Liquid Academy players, or player in this sense, having to tuck tail, find a safe position on this map of Corrode just to save the weapon going forward, to give them a fighting chance going in towards the next round. But for Vitality, the previous one just seems like a little bit of a blip. You lose Sayonara early on, unable to get the answer back as Liquid tumble into the victory. But this time, they run it back, somehow avoiding all of the utility. Gets the pick on towards 1-0, and that was the floodgates open for Vitality in towards 8.
Let's not forget that Vitality's only other time playing this map in Phase 4 was in that decider against Carmine Corp, right? 13-7, exact same comp.
Thank you.
Corrode for TeamLiquid Academy. I mean, it's been ran a few times, rehearsed against BBL a 13-5, against Foot 13-6. So one team will have their record tarnished at the end of this map.
I mean, it seems Vitality are the ones that are wanting to tarnish the records with the context of the first. Now in towards their own map pick. Showing a different level of dominance. Pistol excluded. It's only been one round that TeamLiquid Academy have been able to get across the board. And now the second timeout. Knowing the importance of the last 2 rounds of this half, because it could be the difference maker. 4 ultimates available. It's the fact that they need to get these entries. They need to be able to put themselves up in player count or in information, because right now Vitality are running away with things.
Yeah, it does feel like a lot of these rounds are decided by Vitality getting those openers. You know, talking about the first bloods that Durka was able to accomplish. He seems to be running rampant yet again in the server on our second map.
Viper's Pit in towards main, and a little bit of a cheeky position
Wow.
from GSR, but it gets punished.
Durka expects everything. GSR thought, as you say, he could be emerging behind the wall and catching Vitality players by surprise. Instead, stunned at the idea that Durka was waiting for it.
Aldrin at least spots out Sayonara, but Mystic peeking with the Sheriff, unable to convert.
Durka knows. Recon gone. Prox hits the shot, but the space has been created. Paranoia deployed. Profek just waiting. Gives Prox a half a chance. 2 on 4. TeamLiquid Academy. I think even they know at this point that this is becoming a problem. So many of these rounds, 2vx, 1vx. Vitality a cut above as the double up finds a double kill. A team ace secures Vitality their 8th.
You can see what Liquid Academy are trying to do. Try and go a little bit sneaky towards B main, catch them off guard, but the issue is Durka's ready for it. Then you're down in numbers, you want to make something happen on the other side of the map. You use the owl drone, but the issue is you send forward the player that's on the pistol. Mystic then falling. It's open gates for Vitality. Yes, again, on towards these rifle rounds, in towards 8. Rock's able to get 1, but 1's not enough. And now you're looking at the last round in this half. Still, ultimates available for Liquid Academy. And again, initial focus towards mid. As they turn back, Profek is waiting.
Another TeamLiquid Academy disadvantage. I mean, those first kills must be a field day for Vitality right now. Last of the half, and TeamLiquid Academy aren't all done just yet. GSR finding Sayonara. Problem is, while that kill happens in middle, it's B that's going to be put under pressure. 1-0. Leaving Profek low, might even be stunned. Rextone gets Durka, but Chronicle quick to trade as 1-0. Drive by on the Omen. 3 on 2. And in fact, Yampi does indeed catch the 1-0 sprint towards middle.
And we have the ultimate coming through from Mystic to regain position with his teammate on towards B, but Vitality hadn't committed to anything. They were everywhere and nowhere at the same time, with the spike being able to get picked up extremely safely and towards spawn. Sure, ultimate used towards mid just to buy time and information if there's anyone close, allowing for this B line straight towards the post plant. Now it's focus on towards the retake, doubling up to try and double their chances, or at least converting onto the initial isolate. Maybe a 2v1 per se. You've got the ultimate as well, but that would notify of the position. Yep, he's ready.
Thought that the lack of utility would contribute to something. Instead, Mystic caught in the open. Chronicle delivers. And Vitality loving life. 9-3 at the half. Little to no error No problems for Vitality, for Team Liquid Academy. They now need to recoup, rethink, and put a masterclass of a half together.
I mean, it's not as if for Vitality we've been talking about them in this tournament of being, once they get the ball rolling, they struggle to snowball it. That's something that we've been praising them for, is the start that they've been struggling with. And for the fact that they got the start on the third round off the back of that. They send 6, and for 9 in the half, heading in towards this, when you're looking towards the pistol, which has been one of the real kryptonites for the French team in regards to being able to connect them and collect to be able to convert into second halves.
Will it be another pistol for Team Liquid Academy to kickstart their campaign in the journey to recovery? You kind of feel like this is the do or die moment. If Liquid Academy lose this, hope might just be lost. Spam coming out, Sayonara. It's the first, didn't see 1-0, but had the inkling that they're pushing round. As Mystic, he'll fire back. And Team Liquid Academy a tap of the spike to let Vitality know that they have control, wanting it to be set up in a better position. But Chronicle delivers a double yet again. Team Liquid Academy, resources carved in half. Durka spotted on the corner as Proxer hits one. GSR needs more, and only with one. Sayonara flashes in. The Owl drone now unknowing of where these last 2 players are. The Sheriff, 2 rounds left, hits one. Proxer, what more he'll be asking, has to reload, but Sayonara doesn't give chase.
One body shot is all that's going to be required.
He'll move round, but he'll deliver one straight through the head of Sayonara. Proxer giving Team Liquid Academy the second pistol. The question is, what can Team Liquid Academy do with it?
It needs to be this lifeline. Sure, the pistol, fine that they're able to connect it, but it's being able to snowball that, string it into a couple of rounds. Obviously, you're looking towards this conversion because Vitality don't tend to invest much in towards the second round after losing the pistol. Maybe looking towards Chronicle, see what you can do with the headhunter. But for Team Liquid Academy, this is their lifeline in towards this match. This is their way back in. Because it's not as if it's completely over and done with, but with how dominant Vitality have been with those premium weapons in hands, that's where it starts to get concerning. This is their chance to punish and start to make them doubt.
If you're a Team Liquid Academy fan, it's time to dig deep. Strap in and watch the ride. As you say, Vitality, yes, with the dominant half, but if we learned anything about Team Liquid Academy, it doesn't matter who they're playing. They're always willing to put up a fight. Rex toned, some good news. Chronicle misses everything but the first. We'll pull out the classic to deliver some good news back. No upgrade to be made, as it's only a Sheriff that's dropped on the floor, and for Team Liquid Academy, they make up their mind.
But here's so many steps, but the rotates have started to make their way over. You're looking towards Sayonara's push through mid. Chronicle just has to survive, but Mystic deals with him. Already the early damage, just connecting the final kill.
GSR sets down the spike. Players far away. The flank is quite early for Sayonara. Finds a dink, but no frag. Do you expect the second to be so late?
But the thing is, it doesn't really matter, because now 2 players are in towards main. An opportunity, GSR switching in between the angles, but it's 1-0. That connects a shot on towards Yampi, so seems inevitability. It's just the one for Vitality in regards to damage in towards their eco. Again, extremely minimal investment. Focus is on towards the next round. Obviously, we're looking at the Outlaw. Still going to be in the hands of 1-0, so the focus for Vitality is getting those full shields across the line. But they do have a little bit of money to also bolster up the buy. Sure, they only lose 1, but being able to invest now in towards that Vandal for Prox be a dangerous bonus if you're not careful.
Spam coming out. Sayonara waiting for Mystic to walk in. Vitality love this aggression towards middle. Getting in smokes, using the flash agents to do damage, but it's Chronicle that's just able to deliver a double. GSR removed as well. Tapping away, Rextone removed.
And it's so obvious for Rextone to be there. You've got the push in towards A. The only place it could be is towards mid or towards B. Both now dealt with. double digits for Vitality. This was the swing round we were talking for them. In the previous map, they weren't able to convert. And that's when we saw TeamLiquid Academy mount their comeback. Sure, it didn't necessarily convert in towards a map, but it made it competitive, made us believe. But now it's going to be an uphill climb. Weapons back out. But the thing is, Chronicle already has that tour de force online and going to be utilized in towards this. Sure, maybe not necessarily enough money to afford the operator. But this is just one better.
Oh, come on. Sending it forward. They are looking at the early investment. Liquid Academy towards A. Sayonara drops GSR. The run it back removed, but the numbers left level despite 2 kills coming in. All 10 alive. Tapping away with the Guardian is Yampi. Collecting GSR. Durka! Oh, it's ridiculous from Durka. Pinpoint accuracy. Rextone now left in a 1-on-4. And the tour de force to put Team Liquid Academy to rest.
Man, you GSR dropped to the floor, but you're able to revive him so quickly. You don't suffer much damage in picking back up the KO. Seeing towards the replay, where it's this double from Yampi, followed by the double of Durka just peeking out of the smoke, playing with such confidence. And now on towards 11. And that was the round for Liquid Academy with the full rifles, with the full buy. Now down on towards Sheriffs. And Chronicles with an Outlaw in towards mid, yes again. Doesn't need the tour de force, doesn't want an operator. An Outlaw will do it. A good flash to get him off the angle, so at least some pressure being enacted over towards mid, while you're looking at players dropping in A main.
Wall dropped, Chronicle jumps in the air! How does he find it, Rextone? There's a surefire frag, the flash is good! Sayonara! Vitality's Prodigy, delivers for 12. Map and series points.
And maybe we expected the dominance coming in towards this second map because it's something that Vitality have been tried and tested on, but it wasn't a bad map for Liquid Academy either. But you're looking towards the top 3 for Vitality right now, and sure, Yampi and Profik aren't far behind, but Durka and Chronicle leading the way, followed shortly behind, like you said, by the Prodigy that they've invested in, taken under their wing.
Chronicle moves through, given a chance. Has a second look at it as well. Still stuck in the corner. Sayonara bails him out. Durka gone. Sayonara with a second. Wanzeru hits more as Chronicle's operator delivers. Hunter's Fury for Proxa. But I think he knows that this is a last grasp at desperation.
Toxin screen down.
Prowler deployed. They know the spike's in middle. Rextone delivers with one more. It might not all be over for Team Liquid Academy, but a 2-on-2 to kickstart 7 in a row, it just feels impossible.
And look at where the spike is. It's served on a silver platter to the remaining players of Vitality. It's going to be a lot of work for Liquid Academy to regain this, but Vitality don't necessarily want to play bodyguard. They're going wandering, looking at where players could possibly be coming from, and staying proactive. Might catch Team Liquid Academy off guard if they wait too much longer. 35 seconds left on the clock. They have to start moving.
There's just such little time to get the spike, make your decision, and clear out whatever angles Vitality might be in.
I mean, positives, though, that they've split up. There's one towards A, one towards B. So they'll have the numbers advantage, but they, like you said, they have to decide where to go sooner rather than later, and it looks like that decision might be A.
Always a threat on either side. Wherever Team Liquid Academy look, it will be towards A. Rextone finds it, deploying the pit. 7 seconds. There is little time, but enough to get it set down and maybe delay Vitality from finding 13. Moving on in, a 1-on-2. Yampi needs to come up clutch again. Proxa sitting in the corner.
There's a reveal available.
Has the reveal. Has the audio cue as well, knows that Rextone will be playing in and out the pit. And there you have it, the reveal to go out, doesn't spot anything. A tap of the spike, Yampi continuing to move forward. The pit's dropped. Now, open season, who can find who first? The decay wearing off as Rextone makes it a hat-trick. It's TeamLiquid Academy that just about survive.
Even an early use of the snake bite, still able to convert it in towards that 1v1. Could see the clock's ticking in Yampi's head, thinking of an early reposition. That's why the snake bite was used. Obviously the pit dropping as well, playing a part in the misdirection. But it's no reposition from the final player, from the Viper. It stays inside the smoke. Yampi caught looking the other way, but still, you have to be looking at the fact the Vitality are up on tour 12. Now it's them, the ones with the ultimates in their favor. Running back available. Also the Fade ultimate too, the Nightfall. Perfect tools for a retake.
Haldrone won't pick up much information as to where Vitality hide their resources. You can see that there are plenty of bodies about as Yampi finding GSR. The KO first to be removed once again. Durka caught in the open as Rextone finds another. All back and forth right now as TeamLiquid Academy try and escape the clutches of this deep hole towards B. Profek relying on Yampi to give them more good news. Mystic walks into it. It's all said and done. 523 days ago, 4 of these players shared the server. But it's Yampi that gets the last laugh at Mystic. Vitality beat TeamLiquid Academy.
And of course, there has to be Yampi, right, on that operator to close it out in towards the final round. Multi-kill from